Hello everyone and welcome back to another speedrun video. In this series we're going to be looking at how to go from a GCSE grade 1 to 4, and in this particular video we're going to be looking at multiplication. So let's get started. Okay, so when we're doing multiplication we need to work from right to left, and what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at 27 times 9, and we're going to start with 9 times 7, so we work from the bottom right hand corner outwards. 9 times 7 is 63. So with the 63, the units would be the 3, and we carry the 6 like this to the next column. We can then do 9 times 2. So 9 times 2 is 18, but we need to add the 6. So 18 plus 6 is 24, and that gives us 243, like that. Let's just check that on the calculator. Yeah, that's correct. Now, when we move to the next stage here, let's say we're doing something like 27 times 12. We're working from this bottom right hand corner. 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. Now, when we go to the next digit along, so we're now going to do the same thing with 1 and 7 and 1 and 2, like this kind of diagonal here. We must remember to add a 0. Every time we move along a digit, we have to add an extra 0 in the line below. So we can now do 1 times 7 and 1 times 2, like that. And once we've done these two lines, we add them up at the end. So 4 plus 0, 7 plus 5 is 12, and then we've got the 2 plus the 1 is the 3. Let's just double check that. 27 times 12, 324. Okay, now when we're doing this in the exam, and oftentimes students will forget this extra 0, what will happen here is that you will have, instead of that 0 being there, if I remove that, this would all be shifted along to here. And so our final answer would be something like, sorry, let's just delete that. 4 plus 7 is 11, and 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. Okay, and students will look at that and go, yep, that looks right to me. 54, and then 1 times 2, 1 times 7, yep. What I want you to try to think about is, in this pressure of the exam, and this might be a non-calculator paper, we need to estimate this. I mentioned this in a couple of videos ago. We're going to estimate this and say that this is roughly 30, and 12 is roughly 10. So when I multiply those together, I should get something like 300. And my answer of 81 is clearly too small. Okay, so when you're using estimating to help you, this can sort of highlight to you and ring some alarm bells like, I must have made a mistake here, because 27 times 12 must be more than 81. Okay, because if I times it by 10, that's 270. So that might help you to see, right, there's a mistake here, and hopefully as you process this, or maybe come back to it at a later time in the exam, you'll remember that that extra 0 needs to be there as we move along the digits. Okay, so we'll do another one here, maybe a slightly larger number, like 253 times 47. Okay, so 7 times 3 is 21, so 1 and a 2 carried. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 2 is 37. And 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 3 is 17. So I can put the 1 here, or I can just do it straight into there, like that. We must remember, as we've moved to the 4 now, we're multiplying by 40 as opposed to actually 4. So that's why we need that extra 0 there. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20, plus the 1 is 21. And 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 2 is 10. So I have to carry the 1 as well. Okay. Let's move slightly off the screen there. Let me just move that across slightly. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'll just do that last line again for you. So we carried the 0. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. and 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So now that I add these together, 1 plus 0, 7 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 1 plus 0, and the extra 1 at the front here. Okay, so you can see here it's starting to look a bit complicated because I've got these extra little numbers here. So as you're doing this, you might want to do this slightly smaller perhaps for these carry numbers, because otherwise you might go 7 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, but yeah, we want to try to estimate this again. 253, let's say that's 250.